things change. I used to believe there was this conscious effort that went into finding the right person quicker than others. I'm not talking about meeting them and then getting to know one another, but through personal exploration, sense of self, cultural differences, there was a possibility to see fireworks or hear music the first time you met. This idea of seeing multiple people at once, i.e., modern dating, seems like a waste of time where you could be learning the most you could about one person to see if it'll work or not, and then move on. Shoot like an arrow, so to say. This is a very common practice in European cultures like Denmark or Switzerland, where people will put the effort and themselves out so much that the getting to know you is very intense and quick. So these meetings don't have to be long. These dates don't have to expand beyond 2 or 3. But the amount of information you share and give with one another makes it so you don't have to focus on many people at once, but the person in front of you. And then, when that's over, if it works or not, you move to the next one. No time wasted, no different than doing it all at once, just giving that one person your undivided attention during. I believe this eases both minds of those who are involved as well, letting your self-conscious and self-consciousness truly breathe and relax to be present for that person. Movies like 500 Days of Summer made me wince because she took on multiple relationships at once. Mind you, a very different and intense version of dating, but one I figured was and is happening all around us. People seem to be afraid to commit, so they just wait until enough time has passed where a decision is made for them on which side of the coin they should choose versus flipping it. What I am realizing as I learn more about myself is that sometimes that first date is nothing even close to who we are, regardless of how self-aware we may be. In my case, being hyper-aware of my surroundings caused me to unintentionally act different, which I cover in the podcast Convincing Explanations. Validating myself so the person across from me would accept me, putting my own needs to the side, and worrying about what they thought. The simplest example is being unsure how to tell someone upon first meet, I don't think this is going to work out, and then remove yourself from the situation without it becoming uncomfortable. So now that I am becoming aware of what it is to be myself and to act like myself, I can see that obviously others have been going through the same thing. Then take that and multiply it by how far they have thought about it or how much effort they have put into themselves. It is no longer me thinking that me giving it all up front is the key, although I do believe being open is very important. But being able to be consciously yourself up front is an important first step to getting to know someone. My projections of how someone may date applies to this newer idea as well. Dating 5 people at once is still weird in my head, but I understand if someone's going to do it without an act and honestly just trying to let organic nature of human interaction take its course. A numbers game, so to say. We really don't know the other person on the other end of the relationship and won't for quite some time. We may feel an attraction and it feels great, but knowing and feeling happy are very different. You can bring in the talk of sex here, but I think it goes beyond the physical. It's about the part of you that doesn't need that sensation. For me, I feel like my biggest step lately is just understanding, knowing I am struggling and constantly consciously working on being me on a date, that the other person is too. And regardless of the outcome, I'm okay with it because I'm just being me. I can only bring myself to the table. I no longer have interest in turning the tables, so to say. By learning and applying that to myself, I become calm, collected, maybe even meditative on what might otherwise be a struggle date through the above. It has made the simple act of breathing out in between sentences and stumbling over context or conversation a comfort and normal. It feels really wonderful when you're okay with being yourself, and even better when the person with you accepts it as well. I think it benefits both people. It turns a first date, best face forward, into a conversation between 2 people. It opens you up to stories, memories, and things that can bring you joy and intrigue. The 2 of us are laying the groundwork for a friendship. I still believe in being an open book, but my book now has a cover to help let me close it if I don't want to read anymore or need a break, or get that great crackling sound down the binding if I want someone to read more. I still believe in being an open book, but my book now has a cover to help me close it and safely put it away, especially if I don't want to read anymore or just need a break. This helps to maintain that great crackling sound down the binding if and when I want to reopen it and let someone read more.